guys, it's Rashad. Welcome to another episode of Cozy Wines and Reads. Today's wine I got from the wine store is called the Big Red Monster. Sounded interesting, and the clerk at the wine store convinced me to buy it. And he was like, it's really good red blend. It's a Cabernet, and I'm really excited. I think Cabernets and red blends are my favorite. Vinted and bottled by the Big Red Monster in King City, California. Whoa. Wow. The guy at the store said that it was really fruity. Said it was a really, not fruity, but more fruity than other Cabernets, and he's not wrong. That's actually really good. Wow. And this image on the front is so cool. I'm gonna have to save this to my collection. In my kitchen, I have all of the cool wine bottles that I drank, all the cool wine bottles that I drank, and I keep them. It's like a collection. Definitely adding this one to it because that's a really nice picture on the top or on the front. All right, so today's video is going to be my month of March book haul. Now this month, I kind of went crazy. I don't know if it was because we were getting our stimulus checks and I got paid and I sold my car and I got all that money at the same time. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go buy a bunch of books. So trying to rebuild my collection because like I said before, a lot of my books back home, they're back home. I don't have them here with me. And I doubt that I'll have them with me anytime soon. So I'm trying to rebuild my collection, which is kind of smart, kind of dumb, because in the military you move around a lot. And I'm trying to keep as much of my personal things with me when I move. I don't want to get rid of my books. That's a big one. I want to keep my books. So maybe I shouldn't buy a lot. But anyways, this month I bought quite a few books. The first book that I bought, I've already told you guys how much I love Calling by Your Name. It is literally my favorite movie and one of my favorite books. But the only book I had was the movie adaptation one. So I bought the original cover of Calling by Your Name by Osmond. Now, as I said before, Calling by Your Name follows the story of a young boy named Elio, and he's living in his parents' home in the Italian Riviera when Oliver, who is a student from America, comes to learn with Elio's dad, and they have this romance that blossoms over time, and then a really sad ending if you've seen the movie. I'm not going to spoil it, obviously. Such a great book, though. It is a great book. It is my favorite, one of my favorite books of all time, and I think Osmond just has a really great way of writing. He has a collection of essays that I saw at Barnes & Noble the other day that I almost bought, but I was like, I don't have time to read those right now, but I do want to add those to my TBR, and I probably will soon. So, first book that I bought, Calling by Your Name by Osmond. All right, so the second book I picked up on my March book haul is I Hope You Get This Message by Farhad Naz Rishi. I'm really excited to read this book because basically the concept is that in 7 days, the Earth is supposed to end. Apparently there's a alien entity that has contacted Earth, and they have basically only given Earth 7 more days. And the book follows 3 different teenagers as they as they figure out their life and they figure out the things that they want to do with the last 7 days they have on Earth. A young adult fiction novel, obviously. Like I said before in my previous video, I do like reading young adult novels. I am trying to move away from them, but they always pull me back in because their storylines are super interesting, and I feel like I understand the characters more. Maybe because I'm still kind of young and I just like the drama in them. But this is a book I'm really excited to read. Adam Silvera, who is one of my favorite authors, gave a review on it. It says, "The end of the world has never been this mesmerizing." So I'm really excited to read this book. There is a queer character in it, so maybe that's another reason why I was drawn to it. But really excited, really high on my list. A lot of these books that I have, I'm hoping that I get through soon. I don't think I'm gonna get through all of them throughout March because I don't have that much time on my hands, but I am trying to read more. I'm trying to read more and more because that's what I used to love to do. And now that I'm working and going to the gym and doing that kind of stuff, it kind of takes the time away, but I do hope to get back into reading consistently. So my next book is by Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, 12 Rules for Life. This is basically not your basic self-help book, but it's like a self-help book. It's supposed to help you understand how to go through the chaos that life throws at you. And I'm not going to go into detail, but I'm going through a lot of stuff right now. So this book is something I'm actually currently reading right now. Started about a couple days ago, so I'm only on rule number 2. But so far, this has been pretty insightful. I think this is it's a great book for anybody who is feeling unsure about where they want to go in life or how they want to process the rest of their life. And this is one of those books that I think is probably going to be a must read for a lot of people if you still need to figure out where you are in life and you need to figure out like what makes you happy. And I think that's what this book is about. So I can't wait to get into it deeper. Like I said, I'm only on rule number 2 right now, but the first rule was spot on. And even though it seems so simple, like it's a great book. So I do recommend this to anybody so far. Next book is a book that I know that everybody on BookTube, everywhere that I've seen, everybody talks about it. And I'm really excited to get into it. I've had it for a little bit. I think I bought it in the beginning of this month, maybe even the end of February, but I'm adding it to my March book haul. Don't call me a cheater, but I'm doing it anyways. The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by V. Schwab. Everybody talks about this book, and I've been so excited to read it. Apparently, Addie Larue is a girl who sells her soul for immortality, but the price that she has to pay for immortality is to be forgotten everywhere she goes. So as soon as she walks into a room and she meets somebody, if she leaves that room, they forget who she is. So she lives her entire life being forgotten by everybody. And I just thought that was such an interesting concept, especially for a lot of people who feel like they may not have an imprint on somebody. Like I feel like a lot of people feel like they're easily forgotten. So maybe this book resonates with a lot of people, and that's why it's so popular. But I am so excited to read this one. This is on my I need to read now list. I have a lot of those, so hoping to get to this soon. I cannot wait to actually delve into it and understand the whole the hype behind it. The next 2 books that I bought for my March book haul, they are part of the same trilogy, and they have been blowing up on YouTube, on BookTube, everywhere. Like Barnes & Noble has them right out at the front, and it's part of a world that I am so deeply in love with. The Shadowhunters Chronicles, those books are so great. Cassandra Clare writes the most amazing stories, and I don't know how she has created such a unique world, but I'm living for it. Are you living for it? Because I'm living for it. And if you haven't bought any of the Shadowhunter books, stop this video and go buy some. That being said, you probably already know what books I'm getting ready to talk about. So, part of the Last Hours trilogy, the first one is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, obviously. And the second one is Chain of Iron, also by Cassandra Clare. Now, like I've said previously, the only series that I've read out of the Shadowhunter Chronicles are The Mortal Instruments, and then the Red Scrolls of Magic, the one with Alec and Magnus. I have wanted to get into the other ones, and I have the other books. I just haven't had a chance to read them. So these books take place after the Infernal Devices, but before the Mortal Instruments. And I'm so excited to read these, but I think I'm going to get into reading all of them again. I'm going to do a reread. I don't know what order to do it in yet. So if you are a fan of Cassandra Clare and you're a fan of this world and this entire fantasy series, let me know what order you think I should read the books in, because I'm so excited to get back into them. I'm so excited to read these, especially after all the hype and all the booktubers that I've seen review them and the reading vlogs. I'm so excited. I just want to get into these again like I used to. So the next book in my March book haul is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So this book is actually been on my TBR for a little bit now, and I keep on picking it up and meaning to read it, but then I read something else because my friends are like, let's read this book together. And I'm currently reading a book with my friend right now, which is also my March 2 book haul, so I will bring that up shortly. But this book follows a 19-year-old huntress. Her name is Fairy, and she kills a wolf in the woods. And it's basically in this world of fairies and the fae, and I think that world is so interesting to me as well. I don't know if that's, like, I love fiction and I love fantasy, and I think that this book, it's not a young adult novel, which is why I was so intrigued on trying to figure it out, and that's why I want to get into the series, because like I said, I like reading young adult novels, but this is one of the books that isn't a young adult novel that I really want to get into. And there's just something about the entire series that looks seductive and kind of breathtaking that just makes you want to read it. So I know that the main character basically falls for somebody who she thinks is bad at first, but he turns out to, she has this fiery passion for him, and I just can't wait to read it. I like passion. I like fiery stuff. Sounds like a good time to me. This wine is tasting really good if you can't tell. Just saying. All right. So, I don't know if you guys have heard of this. The title confused me at first because it makes sense, but you have to read the book in order for it to make sense, or you can look it up like I did and cheated because I was really confused. But Nosferatu by Joe Hill. So this is like it's a thriller novel basically, and it has like a lot of supernatural like aspects to it. And this is a book that I'm actually currently reading with my best friend. She wants to like read a book together, and it's kind of hard because we live in two different states and our time differences are different. So she lives in California and I live all the way out here in North Carolina. So it's about like a 3-hour time difference, and she goes to school and I go to work. So it's just finding the time to read the book and then like talk to each other about it is kind of difficult, but we're trying to work through it. Basically follows the story of this girl named Vic who is riding her bike one day, and she runs into this guy named Chalant Max who has this weird gift, so they describe. And he drives around his car with this license plate on it, and he basically takes kids and kills them. But Vic gets away when she's a little girl, and the story follows Charles trying to get her back, and she's grown up now, and he is trying to get revenge for her escaping him. It's a TV show, I think, on AMC right now, so really excited about that too, because I like watching adaptations from books to movies or to TV shows, because I like seeing how other people like interpret them. And a lot of times it's kind of disappointing because it's not the way you imagined it, but I'm excited because I saw the trailer for it and it looked really good, so can't wait to get into this. Already into it, probably like I think a 30-40 pages into it, so really excited about reading that one too. Last and final book on my March book haul is by one of my favorite authors, Alexandra Bracken. She hasn't written a book that I know of since The Darkest Minds, and I love The Darkest Minds series, so I was super excited when I saw that she had this book out called Lore. Now, Lore is a little different than The Darkest Minds. Lore follows, it seems like like Greek gods, basically. And due to punishment for whatever reason, these Greek gods are sent to Earth, and they have to live as mortals. I don't know for how long, but they have to live as mortals, and then they get hunted. And as they get hunted, people can take their place as a god. And I guess that just means they get replaced. It basically follows Lore Perseus, and she leaves the entire kingdom of Agon, and she lives on Earth and tries to forget that because of the brutal murder of her family. So she goes to Earth and she lives there, but apparently this year, because it's every 7 years that this happens, this time there's 2 people searching for her, and even though she said she's fled that life, they ask her to join forces with them so they can finish this and destroy the people that killed her family, and then she can leave that life away forever. Really interesting concept. Kind of confusing at first, but I think this is going to be a good book. I think Alexandra Bracken has a really good way of writing, a really well-written style, and I'm so excited to go get into this book and see how she does the things that she does, because I don't know, I think she has a really good way with words. I'm just so excited, and this book just looks so good. So I'm really super, super duper excited about this. I can't wait to read it. Can't wait to tell you guys about it. This is probably gonna be my next book that I read, I think. Alexandra Bracken has my heart, and this book has my heart. So I just can't wait. I also picked up this super cute bookmark because I have a kitten and I think it's super cute. It says, "Not meow, I'm reading." And I'm gonna have to throw this at my cat, honestly, because she does not leave me alone. The cat doesn't know personal space to save her life. And I'm always in my apartment by myself. So I live here by myself, obviously. But like, I'm always in here and I have to close this door because she will come in here and she won't leave me alone. But she's so cute. So maybe one day when she's not being annoying, I'll show you guys her. All right, for watching this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry again if I was a little awkward. You know, that's just how I am. I'm kind of an awkward person. But I'm going to leave each one of these books descriptions below in the subject line. So if you guys want to go ahead and check them out, I'll leave links to them there. Also, if you want to go ahead and like, comment, follow, subscribe, share, anything to help me out, make me get like known on BookTube, because this is just kind of fun. I'm actually enjoying this. I know this is only my second video, but I'm enjoying myself, and I think this is a good thing for me. So if you want to go ahead and spread the love, I'm going to leave that there as well as links to my social media pages. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat if you want to add me there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Sorry if it's a little long. I'm trying my best to do better editing because I know the last one wasn't edited very well, if at all. Well, I'm going to try my best to do it on this one. So hope you guys have a great night. I do love you all. Thank you for watching. Mwah.